Hello guys, welcome back. Now today we're going to go over mistakes to avoid to mess up your account progression or your just general gameplay and experience of the game, because some of these you just don't know them until it's too late, which is where you learn them. So that's why I learned them in the beta, so that in the release date we know exactly what to avoid. So let's begin with the easy ones. For example, don't cap your stamina. Now, early on, why am I saying this? This should be obvious for gacha gamers. However, when you start the game, you are basically just given the story, the world, and you are given the factory area. But you don't really see, or you don't really notice or realize that you have your stamina right here, which is going to be having a really, really low cap. It's a low cap, low max amount of stamina, because it increases every time since early levels up until max level. You're gonna keep getting more and more and more stamina. So early on, it's already capped, or it's easily going to cap really soon, but you don't have any way to use it. Once you find you start unlocking some domains like protocol space, for example, there's the very first ones that unlock, or maybe this one, which is another protocol space, will give you different level materials. The moment you see this should be a reminder for you to start using your stamina so that you don't cap it too much. Now, why would you care so much about the stamina capping? Mainly because when certain part of the story arrive, especially when they are about to unlock a new zone, which is very important because you can unlock more things, more resources, more places to go, more story, and more eventually on certain regions, camps, you will be able to progress way faster if you get to this zone. But sometimes the story just locks you in, like it says like, oh, you need to, oh, you're level 20, you need to be level 24, right? So if you keep missing out on stamina usage because it's being capped for a while and you miss, let's say, 100 stamina, that is going to be a concerning amount of XP lost for your account progression. So at least early on in the first like 3, 4, or 5 days, make sure you don't cap stamina so that you're not missing out on XP and potentially miss out on progressing your account, right? So that is the first the first mistake to avoid. Now, the next one is do not neglect the buildings in the world. What do I mean by that, and what does that mean? First of all, when you unlock your core AC area, you are going to have your world and it's completely empty. Nothing is going to be there. All of these like weird icon structures are not going to be there. However, the world incentivizes you to build a lot. So you want to build a lot, going around and placing down your relay towers and placing your electric pylons and connecting them together and be like, oh, okay, so there's like, oh, energy here, energy there, powering up structures here and there, putting down your zip lines, creating zip lines across the world that lead you to cool places where important materials are occasionally spawning back, or special zones that are like annoying to reach, so you can immediately teleport there with the zipline. So you are incentivized to build around the world and make it easier to traverse, because it's not possible otherwise besides just running around. And you want to do this besides for quality of life, but also for your regional level, which is here, the regional development level. The regional development level is really important because it increases the max amount of resources that are very important for the game. So you want to level up this up to the max is level 20 on the beta. I don't know if it's going to be changing on the release date. But as you can see, these are all of the factors that are going to give you a total that then is going to level up, and that the game takes care for. So it's going to check the ringing mining spots, outpost connections, recycling station unlocking upgrades, depot node unlocking upgrades, stock redistribution connection and coverage expansion missions. You know, all of these are going to be checked by the game. If you do them a lot, it's going to give you a lot of XP and a lot of score, right? So outpost connection and prosperity upgrades, this is basically saying put stuff around the world and use it. basically, on top of your how big your base is, how big your different camps bases are, and how much you will have conquered the world, let's say, that you have at your disposal. So that's the second point to avoid, second mistake to avoid. The third one is sort of connected, which is when you are unlocking eventually your camps. It's going to be the refugee camp, the infestation camp, and then it's going to be another one on the third zone, which is the reconstruction HQ. Now, when you get to your camps, they're going to be empty and they're going to be unleveled. And you can basically level them the same way you level your core AC area, which is by using the Valley stockpile to increase the size and get your bus together, get like some facilities that help you grow. And how do you get these Valley points? By making yourself, by crafting goods that they want and checking which one is like the most valuable and trading them with the different camps, each their own, and they're gonna have their own level up. And once they level up, they increase level, they increase prosperity, but then they also give you the stock bills. And with the stock bills, you really don't want to leave them unleveled. Well, it's a secondary camp. I'm not gonna use my bills there. Like, sure, as a priority, you obviously gonna prioritize your main camp first, your main like core AC area base. But after that, please go level up the other one, because it's very expensive to level up your main area. So you don't have to go to level 3 immediately. You can do like level 1, level 2, maybe get a little bit of a bus on your core, and then move on to the camp and then increase those as well. So try to grow up in a balanced way instead of focusing everything on the main area and then leaving the camps at low level and they're like tiny and you don't have space to put more facilities in, and it's going to become like a kind of a handicap for your growth anyway, right? So that's important to remember, to not really neglect the camps too much. Now, for the energy management issues, which is our next point, it means that at the top, as you can see, there is a 100% yellow battery icon, and then there is a number, 1.7K and 1.86K. This means that I am using 1,700-ish energy, and I am producing 1,860-ish energy. Now, why do I mean by energy management? Now, when you make a lot of structures and you have a lot of units and facilities built, they're going each of them, they're going to obviously require an amount of energy. If they're all turned on, you might incur into a problem that it's how much energy you are generating. And the energy is dictated by how many thermal banks you have and how many, like, what are they using as a fuel. Because sometimes if you use the shittiest materials, it's going to be the original ore, they only give you 50. So you need either a lot of thermal banks or less thermal banks that are using better items. These better items, you need to generate them as well. So you have to make sure that the items that you are generating that are going into the thermal bank, and this is not immediately an issue, it's going to become an issue later on. And because it's becoming an issue later on, it's going to be a more concerning one. Because if this happens once you have your big factory going on and you don't have a steady amount of resources filling in, self-sustaining the thermal banks, the energy is going to eventually not be enough. It's going to drop below your required one, and all of the factory, all of the structure that you have in your base is going to immediately fall off. You're going to not have enough energy. It's going to deplete the resources, the storage that you have, which is the 100% at the moment. It can hold for a little bit and then it shuts off. At that point, it's going to be a pain in the ass to actually fix it. So don't try to not get into this issue, because it's going to be annoying to fix up. You're going to have to turn off everything or maybe install like 15 more thermal banks just to momentarily power them up to get the power up so to the point where you can actually power up some extra units or emergency units to make it so you are actually now properly generating the item, and you're like getting like the ratings correctly, and now you are fine. It's going to be a little bit of an issue. And how do you monitor that? You can easily monitor your yield cost item that you want. So for example, if you are generating the SC Valley battery to generate 400-ish per thermal bank. Now, thanks to this, you can check, thanks to this panel, which you can access by pressing Ask and then clicking AIC report, you can now check how many you are making and how many you are consuming. Like, so the cost of the factory is 4 per minute, while you are making 5 per minute. This could be more, this could be less, it's up to you. So if it's less, it's going to say yield 2 or 3, cost 4. This means that even if now you have enough, you will eventually run out. So if you go to sleep and you come back the next day, there's a high chance that you're going to log in to everything shut down. So it's important to remember to check this out and not fuck up when you're trying to start like a bigger factory. You're starting to put like bigger factory units inside. Everything is working, everything is consuming energy. So it's going to be more and more concerning. So be careful on your thermal bank output and input as well, right? Moving on to the next mistake, there is a bunch of there's 2 of them connected to each other, which are related to characters. First of all, the resources of this character of the character leveling up is very, very, very expensive, and you can see that like you need a lot of everything, and it's barely enough every day for your stamina to use and get the items that you need. It's going to take a while to max out these characters. So you don't really want to spread your resources thin too much. You could probably use your the guide feature on training, check the characters, see if the ones that you actually like, and then focus only on them, because it's going to be very expensive later on. So maybe if you really want to play them on field, you could like maybe stop at level 20 or 30. Try every character, try your teams if you're not sure. So don't level up too much, find your main and then focus on that one. On this note, the next point would be to don't mess up your team composition. What do I mean by that? Every character is going to have on the 3rd circle here a combo skill, is called. This combo skill basically triggers only on certain conditions. And this conditions is stated every time you click it to see what they do. In this case, she needs to have 3 or more cray infliction on the enemy for this to trigger. And the combos in this game, you are incentivized in doing them because they do a lot. They give buff, debuffs, and they do a lot of damage. So you want to focus up on your main and what is your combo? What are you doing? Which element are you doing? What is their combo requiring to pop up, right? So it's important for you to focus up on a team that is actually synergizing together, so that you don't mess up, you don't miss out on a lot of damage or debuffs. The game is structured in a way that you actually want to combo stuff together a lot. For example, on the endmin itself that you start with on the free team, you're going to have a lot of physical stuff going on. And as you can see, just the physical is going to be modified depending on what you're doing. You can lift the enemy, you can knock the enemy down, you can crush them, and you can breach them. So you also can apply vulnerable, which is another version of a physical status, which is ridiculously varied, right? So with this in mind, there's also other elements that have multiple facets, and it's important for you to make a team that is actually making sense, right? So that's another mistake, to like not do that, like pay attention and try to not make a team that synergizes together. You can't just put like an electro character, a fire character, a physical character, because they're not gonna combo at all, and you're gonna miss out on a lot of damage. Now, going back to the next point, when you go on the open world and you explore, you're going to eventually see one of these icons that look like a owl. It's called Recycling Station. You need to go there and unlock it for the first time, and from that point on, occasionally, multiple times per day also as well. It's like 10 hours or 12 hours. You're going to be able to go back there, click, and get some loot called aerospace material. So now, when you go there, you actually can either upgrade or just claim. First of all, you should try to check if you can actually upgrade, but if you can't, you can, for the time, pick up the resources. Now, you're going to get a lot of aerospace materials the higher the recycling station is. And these materials, as I said before, they're really important for the Dijang, so you shouldn't really forget to get them. Go back around the world, check all of these icons around the map, go there, claim the aerospace materials, level up if you can, and then keep doing that occasionally, one or two times a day, level up the Dijang and you get the benefits. Now, another thing that is very important, but it's not really stated as such in the game, is the Lucky Carrot shop, which is the stock redistribution terminal. Now, this is something that you're going to eventually unlock by when you get to this zone for the first time. And this guy is called like Lucky Carrot, and it's very important, and it's actually, I would say it's extremely important for your progression. You know how we stated multiple times that you need to get as many stock bills as possible. Now, this is going to be a store that also where you can buy stuff for stock bills, but also gives you the elastic goods. What is the elastic goods? Elastic goods it's basically like stock market. You can buy an item that is really low, like say this one is like minus 80% discount. You pick this one. The normal price was supposed to be 1.6. It's 400. You can buy a stock depending on how much you leveled up the whole guy feature, and you buy the whole stock. It's going to be 44k. Then you check before you buy. You check your friend price, and you go like, okay, this character has 1000% local price, so their world has different discounts or not, or maybe they have a price up. In that case, you go to them, you do visit the friendship, and you will basically teleport to them and give them the material that you bought and sell them for a ridiculous amount of price up. Now, when you visit your friends, you go here, you click this one, you go to the material that was discounted, and you basically do your transaction. Now, I'm not going to do it because I might want to do it with different materials, but this is basically how you do it, and you should check once a day because that's how often you get the resource back. Now, early on, you're going to have a shorter, smaller cap of this, so you should probably try to do it twice a day if you're logged in certain times during the day, like far apart from each other. It should be like around like 10 to 12 hours to one stock to be there, so feel free to check multiple times if you want, but usually one time is fine as well, right? So it's important to not neglect the carrot guy because it's going to unlock a whole system of things that you don't have access to unless you talk to the guy and you unlock the feature. The carrot guy is usually found in Valley 4 main ASC area, and then it's going to be another one on Wuling on the Jinyu Valley right after to the side of your first camp that you get after the main one, the second camp that you unlock on Wuling. This is where the guy is, the stock redistribution terminal. They have different levels in the beta, but they might have the same level on release. So this is like something important to not neglect because it's going to be helping you boost your development because it's going to give you a lot of bills. Now, another thing that you shouldn't really be neglecting, because it's kind of a mistake to do so, is the inflatable guys. Now, what are the inflatable guys? The inflatable guys are usually found in the map by clicking and finding these icons over here. And when you actually go there, you will see an inflatable wavy arm man. And if you click on them, it's going to give you a coin, a token. Now, this token is usually used to unlock the basic AC plan, and all of the passives, they unlock more structures. These structures, the grinding, the packaging tech, the fitting unit, the packaging unit, the molding unit, all of these are really important for your development in general. Now, for the last mistake to avoid, it would be the Origeometry. Now, the Origeometry is very important. Why? This is an item that you get many times during your gameplay, especially early on. You can convert it to both stamina or pool materials. Now, the pool materials conversion is 1 for 75, and the stamina conversion is 1 to 40 stamina. One hexagon, one Origeometry is going to give you 40 stamina. So if you need to level up really quick, or if the main story is gating you, if something is happening, you really need to level quickly, then it would be wiser to use the Origeometry to give yourself some sanity. Now, you can only spend 10 of these per day. Daily exchanges might be different depending on the outside of the beta, depending on the game, how they're gonna do it. So like, think about it really hard before you actually spend the Origeometry. And I would say personally, this is my opinion, it would be better spent on stamina than on literally one fragment of a pool for the gacha. That's it for today's mistakes to avoid. If I forgot something, or if you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below, or come ask me live at twitch.tv/JKZN. See you guys on the 22nd. Feel free to subscribe for more videos, and thank you for watching, and see you next time.